Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, and welcome back to Harvest December. So it's time to start moving into spring, finally. And indeed, this is a typhoon in April, spring. And I like this art, by the way. Nice picture of the cherry trees. I assume it's supposed to be cherry trees, since apparently those are kind of big in Japan. I watched the sakura petal fall to the ground. I crossed my arms before me from the strong wind. Even so, I couldn't keep my eyes open, and I squeezed my eyelids shut. Force in all forms isn't something easy to see. And wind sound effects. Hello. Oh, I see you've got a change of uniform now. Ooh! Mizuho Tayama shrieked as a gust of wind blew by. After a few seconds, the air calmed and I lowered my arms. That was a big one. So you're slowly, progressively wearing less as the seasons move onward. So I think I should possibly worry about what's going to be coming in summer. Should I? Anyway. It's definitely spring now. Tsune Marino and Kohai Toyama looked at each other and nodded in their understanding. About what? I did not know. The wind is strong. We looked at the straight white line painted on the platform before us. The flower petals weren't there anymore, carried off by the wind. Hey, Masaki. Yuki Tawada, who was walking a few steps in front of me, turned back and cocked her head. It's nothing really, I just noticed that you've got a sakura petal on your neck. I pointed at my nape to demonstrate. Ah, I must have caught it when I walked through my gardens this morning. She nodded to herself and brushed a hand down the back of her neck. Oh, you mean the sakura at your place is already blooming? Are already blooming, plural. The Yamazakura in the south are already in full bloom, but the Someyoshino in the north will take some time. She replied simply without changing her expression. I couldn't get used to you talking about your home by using cardinal directions. I still can't get used to you talking about your home using cardinal directions. Can't be helped. Even our servants get lost sometimes. Can you take it off of me? Yuki asked me quietly so that I almost couldn't hear her under the announcement for the next train. She bent her head forward to expose the back of her neck. On the smooth surface of her pale skin there was a single sakura petal even brighter and whiter than its surroundings. You want me to do it? I wouldn't have anybody else touch me. Whoa! Get a room. Why don't you lick it off? Our friends teased. Alright, don't move. Are you going to lick it off? Of course not. I stretched out my fingers. Then a sudden question popped into my mind. I saw a sakura petal drop to the ground not so long ago, but how is it possible? The wind was so strong it should have been carried away. And then, around the train station, there weren't any sakura trees nearby. Then... What was that I saw just now? My neck's starting to hurt. Her skin was beginning to turn slightly pink from bending forward. The sakura petal looked even whiter in contrast. I squinted at it. Something wasn't right. I was looking right at the problem, but I couldn't figure it out. The white sakura petal on Yuki's neck. It's blue! It was a sakura petal of the palest blue, a color that would be impossible for a sakura blossom. I picked it off with my fingers. What's wrong? You kind of froze for a moment. Nothing, I just zoned out a little. Why? Maybe it's the weather. You sure weren't thinking about how sad your life's become? Hey, my life isn't. I thought about several events that had happened since I moved here. Yeah, it's pretty sad, isn't it? Hey, I somehow have a feeling you're implying it's our fault. I looked at the three of them, particularly pointed at Kohai to garner a reaction. Stop that, Masaki. I mean, I know you have the hots for me, but you don't have to show your admiration in front of everybody. He didn't get it. It's about time. Kohai looked up at the speakers above his head. This way. Why are we going to the end of the platform? The station Nuki got on has these staircases at the end. But that doesn't necessarily mean she got in the passenger car right before it. If I know her, she probably got on at the last minute. Come on. They all followed me without further question. Yuki-chan is your cousin, right? What's she like? Is she somebody as weird as you? What do you mean by that? What exactly you... Oops. Apparently down on the D-pad, we'll go and bring up the log. Now I'm pushing buttons on the D-pad and nothing's happening. Weird. Alright, enough messing around. What exactly you thought I meant? Well, that's depressing. Oh, I'm getting nervous now. Don't worry, she's really easygoing and everybody gets along with everybody. Alright, I've got to get used to meeting my in-laws. I'm preparing myself for it to be a big sister now. Yuki, aren't you thinking a few steps too far ahead? She's always thinking a few 2 steps too far ahead. Oh, does that mean you two are actually Oh, does that mean you actually are considering which steps you should take? Lately, I have been getting a lot of this. I think you've been getting a lot of this since the, like, prologue chapter, right, guy? Just an observation. Reality is merciless, I muttered as I stared at the... I muttered as I stared at the flower petal on my palm. I've done a lot of recording. I've recorded all of, almost all of the last chapter without taking a drink. And, I think I should probably do that sooner or later. Because voices and stuff. Anyway, I see. You can notice me studying the sakura petal. Alright, water time. Screw it. That's better. I see. You can notice me studying the sakura petal and craned her neck to have a better look. I could see her perfectly shaped nape again, by the way she leaned close. Rare, isn't it? Yeah, I haven't seen many people shaped so beautifully. What? It's blue in color. I changed the topic before she could catch on. There was only a very slight blue tinge to the sakura petal. I just actually pictured that in my head just now, and that looks really funny. Like a blue cherry tree petal. I don't know how that would happen, but sure. If you didn't look carefully, it would be easily mistaken as white. It's God's sakura. Never heard of that. Not even botanists know about it. The sakura in Tagami contain a special substance that makes them slightly blue depending on the light. Really? I picked up the petal in my fingers and held it up against the sky. It did look bluer when it was on my palm. It's a very subtle color, though. They say it's a miracle left by the daughter of our god. Although I find it hard to believe knowing what our god is like. We all thought about her. And we all sighed. What about this year? We'll do it as usual. Yeah. I kept quiet because I didn't know what they were talking about. We're talking about the Hanami. We do it every year. Cherry blossom viewing. Oh, like, I think they do that in the United States and DC every year. Or something like that. I've never been to one. Although I know somebody who's been to one. And, apparently it's a pretty big event down in DC. Where was I? Kohai explained. Oh, yes. We're talking about the Hanami. We do it every year, Kohai explained. There was a mountain on the Tawada premises that had a cluster of Yakuyama Y cherry blossoms that bloomed beautifully every year, and each year they would go blossom viewing at night. Oh, don't make that face. What face? That I don't belong here yet face? Sine was right. I did feel that way, so I didn't deny it. It'll be fun this year. We've got 2 more people. 2 more? You and Nuki-chan, of course. Mizuho laughed. I felt a bit better. Train's coming. Hello, train. I like trains. The train, which was only 4 cars long, stopped before us smoothly. Soon, people began filing out, and then scattered as they stepped onto the platform. I saw Nuki through the glass window and gave her a wave. Masaki-chan! I'm here at last! I flew backwards with my hands still in the air. Whoa! Kohai, who had fast reflexes, grabbed Sine and pulled her out of the way. Which meant I didn't have a cushion to soften the impact of her tackle as I crashed down on the platform. Misaki-san, you're always getting into situations that look like a wire action kung fu. I think you better practice your landing a bit more. I'll help you if you want. I thought that was an excellent idea. You smell this just the same, Misaki-chan. As I lay flat on the platform, Nuki rubbed her face into my chest like a puppy that hadn't seen its master in far too long. Remember you promised me you wouldn't bowl me over like that? Hee 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 hee. She laughed to excuse herself. I sighed, wondering why everybody didn't keep their promises with me. Get off! I pushed at her forehead with her hand, urging her to get away from me. Hey, that's no way to treat a lady, you know? You're heavy. You're nasty. At last, she lifted her face. It's been a while, Nuki. You too, Misaki-chan. I crawled out from beneath her. She's quite a character. Kohai smiled. Hey, is it alright if we call you Nuki-chan? They all looked up and up. And up. How tall are you? 188 centimeters. That's like 6'2 or 6'3, ain't it? In imperial measures. Nuki was taller than any of us. Whoa, you're tall. What do you eat to grow so much? Mizuho widened her eyes at the giant before her. Being the shortest of the lot, Nuki was easily a head taller than her. Play volleyball. Volleyball will help you grow. Oh, that's right. Our school's got a pretty strong team, Sine commented. I thought you'd win a scholarship with volleyball. I failed all of the trials. I guess it's good you I guess it's good you don't look beaten by it. You still have that unfortunate habit of not performing well under pressure. I only don't perform well when you aren't there. If you were, I'd ace everything. I can't possibly go with you to your entrance examinations. Yuki was extremely talented when it came to sports. I had never seen her perform badly before, but apparently she didn't do too well when it really mattered. The train slowly pulled away. Would you have come if you were allowed to? Of course I would, for you. You're awesome. She slapped my head. Well, maybe my head. She slapped me hard, joyously. Back attack! And my head, like a volleyball, went down in a diagonal angle, slamming so hard into my body that... Slamming down so hard my body bounced at the impact. How did she slap you again? I thought you'd toughen up a bit since you moved to the countryside. You can't stay a wimp forever, you know. My physical strength has nothing to do where I live. What happened to our promise that you wouldn't spike me like that? You should play volleyball to train yourself a bit, you know? She wasn't listening. There were still a few people on the platform other than us. Most of them headed towards the exit. Masaki, you're going to be an important figure in this town. You should take care of yourself better. Here's this traditional-looking Japanese lady. Yuki Tawada, nice to meet you. Ah, you're Masaki-chan's wife, Yuki declared. I was still on the floor, and I heard Yuki and Nuki quarrel about something. We were the only ones making noise, and from where I was, I could enjoy the silence surrounding us. If I stood up now, I get pulled into the quarrel. Maybe I should stay down a little longer. A strong wind blew up past us again. The blue soccer pedal I had in my palm was sitting on the white line of the platform now. For some reason, I couldn't keep my eyes off it. I watched a gust of wind whirl it up into the air and carry it away. The footsteps of spring, I thought to myself. You look like you're having fun. A voice. And then a pair of unbelievably long, slender legs came into my view. What? Mizuho gasped. No way! Kohai looked shocked. They both looked confused as if they had seen the impossible and their eyes were like as big, as wide as whatever as saucers. I got dibs on Masaki-chan way before you did. You got no idea how far back we go, Yuki. We're tight, you know? Your history has nothing to do with us. Yuki and Nuki were oblivious. You seem a lot weaker than I remember you to be. I looked up at the owner of the voice. Why are you here? Because you are. Because that's my name, she had said before. When I asked her why she always wore something blue. Why is that a vocabulary word? Ow. There's no way I'm gonna remember that. She changed the air just by her presence. That's why I had been intrigued. I had lost my tongue. She was squatting next to me where I lay on the ground. She pressed her hand to her hair as a gust of wind blew by. And just like that, she commanded everybody's attention. Whitish blue. Somewhere, I had known I would see her again. Bluish white. I felt the emptiness in my palm where the sakura petal had been. She looked at me with those blue-tinged dark eyes of hers. I couldn't move, transfixed by her stare. How much freedom did I have before her? The memories came back to me, vivid and raw. Ow. I had come to this town in hope of forgetting her. Hey, it's been a while. Is this like his crazy ex or something? Anyway, here's the intro movie. I expect this will be different since this is for spring instead of winter. Alright, Typhoon in April. That sounds exciting, but it's gonna have to wait for the next part of this read-through? Whatever. Anyway, my name is Dragonite. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later. That looks like a photograph, by the way.